accurate, reliable, and up-to-date information on the characteristics of places, services, and equipment, tourists with specific access needs will find it difficult, if not impossible, to organize their trip. Information cannot define a place generally accessible or not accessible, but should bring some objective data, measuring the presence or absence of certain obstacles, for example steps, the presence or absence of tools, such as tactile maps. Your customers need facts and not opinions. In this way, it will be up to each customer to evaluate the real level of accessibility related to his or her personal needs. You've been trained and you have already learned how to collect data on the physical characteristics of your facilities. You've also been given a useful support tool, the app for self-assessment. Once collected, this information must be available to customers. Most importantly, information on the key features like access to the establishment, toilets, bedrooms and routes should be made available to your customers. Currently, the internet is the most favored and widely used source of information for travelers. Therefore, the main tool to disseminate information is the company website. But how to provide information on accessibility in the website? It's advisable to give firstly a brief but comprehensive overview of the usability of the facility, and after that, the possibility to examine more closely the data concerning the functional parts of the facility, like external and internal paths, bathrooms, lifts, bedrooms, etc. This can be done by including in the website a specific section with, for example, an access guide that provides basic information on how to reach the facility, getting in, using it, and getting out in an emergency. The more aspects of accessibility needs that are covered by the access guide, the more people it will help in possibly choosing your business. Therefore, it should include information that is as much as possible relevant not only for customers with mobility impairments, but also to customers with hearing and visual impairments, with learning difficulties and allergies, etc. The access guide should also show pictures and plans of key features, such as the entrance, toilets, bedrooms, and routes that allow people to better understand the provided information. Of course, the websites themselves should be attentive to the accessibility requirements and designed following the principles of universal design. Some basic rules should be followed in order to improve the accessibility of a website, or at least the pages providing information on accessibility. It must have content that is easy to read, with short sentences and simple language, works on different devices, is easy to navigate, all functionality available from a keyboard, has a well-structured design and good color contrast, has alternate options, text descriptions for images, captions or transcriptions for videos, has documents and attachments in a format that can be used by everybody and everywhere. Tourism establishments often use printed materials, brochures, booklets, pamphlets, etc. to publicize their facilities and offers. In this case, accessibility information will necessarily be more concise, providing just basic data and perhaps diagrams. Therefore, it may be appropriate that printed materials refer to the property's website for further details, including via a QR code or providing the name and contact details of a contact person. Also for printed material, the information must be conveyed in an accessible way by following some basic rules. Printed information should be presented in an organized structure with sections and subsections and should use simple, straightforward, non-technical language, fonts that are sufficiently large, at least 12 points, and easy to read, sans serif for example, like Arial or Verdana, sufficient line spacing, color contrast between the text and the background. Shiny or coated paper that reflect the light should be avoided. Another very important channel for information distribution is the direct one, represented by the staff who have contact with customers, both in the booking phase and when welcoming the visitor at the establishment. Staff working in the sales department or at the reception have to be trained and informed about the accessibility features of the establishment to give the information correctly. They should always have the access guide of the facility at their disposal. Of course, nowadays, social media provides an important source of information for visitors, where mainly on a peer-to-peer level, Tourists with specific access needs describe their experience to their followers, providing a first-hand evaluation. Finally, some further important advice. Provide information on accessibility, not only about your facility, but also about the surroundings and the use of public transport. Make sure the information is consistent across all media and channels of communication, online, when it is delivered in person by staff, on site, by telephone, or by email. Make sure the content is up to date and show the date in online content. Collect feedback and keep the customer informed about any accessibility improvements.